We have another guest on the line, Kun Nathakorn, which is Kun Sorot Sakorn Wissawa, who is the president of the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Bank, or the SME Bank. Kun Sorot สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับสวัสดีครับ
Good afternoon, Kun Sorot.
Can you assess the flood damage to your clients right now? Which types of businesses are affected?
So far, the flood impact to our client not too much because of our client in the flooding area we have just only small, but due to the flooding is the impact all of the all the province and the country because of some of they are in direct impact and some of them they are indirect impact. So in terms of the SME Bank, we still provide and try to support and rehabilitation to the SME after the flooding finish. The first one, in the first phase, we have the rehabilitation loan to the SME. The first phase we set the limit around 2 million baht.
I see.
To lend to the SME, the maximum 1 million baht to the entrepreneur depend on the size of the business. And interest rate fixed at 6% for the 6 year with a grace with a 2-year grace period.
Kun Sorot, can you please give us a rough estimate how long it will take, do you think, for the businesses to recover?
After I visit to the provincial, so many provincial, I think that really difficult to estimate when the flood will finish because of if you hear from the news or you see you watch the television, the flooding and the water, they are still flow from the north to the south, and some of the provincial they start to flooding so far. So I think that we take another 1 or 2 months, after the flood will be finished.
I see.
Yeah.
From your perspective, Kun Sorot, how should the government be helping businesses?
So I think that due to a really difficult, and I think that some of the flood and some of the program, I think that we will extend more. For example, for the SME Bank, I think that the 2 billion loan, I think this is not enough to fund this half. I think that we will extend and will be more approval from the government.
I see, Kun Sorot. Thank you for joining us today.
In your opinion, what are the opportunities and threats for businessmen in the Philippines as well as ASEAN as a whole?
Well, I'm actually a big believer that the ASEAN community is a positive thing. So I don't look at the threats so much, I look at the positives. We're living in a world of greatly interconnected countries. I think transportation links, communication links are far easier now than ever before. And we've got 2 very large countries, China and India, that's attracting a lot of capital globally. I think if we begin to unite as a grouping of nations within the ASEAN community, we have a better chance to brand ourselves in some way and also create a momentum for investment in our region. We have highly populated countries, exciting growth opportunities, and I think if we can brand ourselves as a community of nations within ASEAN rather than as individual countries, I think think it can only help. The challenges of integration are always there, but I think if we can surmount them, we're creating a set of standards, global standards for ourselves as countries that can only help us as a community of nations within ASEAN, and I see that only as a positive rather than negative.
What measures should be taken to prepare Filipino businessmen and human resources for the AEC?
Well, I think first and foremost we have to understand what is happening within ASEAN, and that's not something that's common knowledge, which is a pity. I think we have to do a lot more, both as private sector and as governments, to create awareness on what is happening in ASEAN. There have been a number of agreements, particularly on the economic front. We are moving towards, I guess, a free trade type status among our separate countries by 2015. That'll impact some industries more than others. I think it's important for countries and for the private sector to understand exactly what is happening on that front. How can we take advantage of it? Why is it a positive? Rather than worry about why that should be a negative. So awareness levels have to move up to a whole different level. But I think if we can create that kind of environment, then we're really creating a very exciting community, I guess, among our different countries that we can build on rather than see it as a threat.
Right, but idealistically, for this beauty-related economy, how has the market demands and changed?
I think that there is a lot of focus in our part of the world now from an investment point of view. There are difficulties taking place in some of the developed economies around the world, and capital is looking to invest in areas that have growth potential. I think in many ways we were lucky that we had a crisis back in 1997. There were some painful adjustments that we had to make back then, but our financial sector became far stronger because of it, and now we find ourselves in a situation where in the current year the world is reeling to a certain extent from some economic instability, and particularly the financial sector is going through some difficulty. We are not seeing that in the ASEAN region. We're seeing banks that are strong, we're seeing economies that are growing. I think it's up to us to really now harness that and see how we can make it grow at a time when the world is looking for growth opportunities.
As CEO of a company, how lucrative is it, the expansion into neighboring countries?
Well, that depends on each different industry. I think it works in many ways. There are ASEAN nations that have looked to the Philippines as an area of investment. For example, we have excellent partnerships with large Singapore entities, both in the financial sector and the telecommunications sector. That has happened because Singapore has looked to ASEAN as a way to expand and build investment. So ASEAN has resulted in investment coming to the Philippines. On the other hand, we ourselves have started to build a platform for growth, say, in manufacturing, and we have moved out of our regular space of building manufacturing plants in the electronic sector just in the Philippines, and have in turn moved to Singapore, and Singapore in turn opened a platform for us into China. So all of these started to happen because of the relationships, I guess, among ASEAN countries that have been conducive to joint investment and growth potential.
How about the bilateral cooperation between Thailand and the Philippines?
Well, with Thailand, I think there's always been a set of very good relationships between our countries, and I think that has continued over the years, be it tourism or investment-led growth. There has always been movement backwards and forwards among our countries. I see that as a trend that will only continue over time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.